Hey, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah, today is a overcast Monday here in Freeport, Louisiana, February 11, 2019. And in this video, I want to talk about two issues real quick. They're totally unrelated issues, but there are two important issues that I feel that we need to talk about, that I need to shed a little light on. First and foremost, what we want to talk about is Freeport, Louisiana period. Here in Freeport, we embrace a title called Ratchet City. Now, a lot of people, that term Ratchet has went global, and a lot of people identify themselves with that ratchet culture. But that phrase was coined right here in Freeport, Louisiana, the original Ratchet City. And I always tell people when I'm speaking or talking to people, whether it be public or private or whatever, but I try to get them to understand that if you keep on claiming that title, because ratchetness has nothing good associated with it. When you talk about ratchet, that means your kids are dropping out of school in record numbers. That means you and your kids are getting STDs in record numbers. That means you are killing each other in record numbers. Because when you claim ratchet stuff happens, man. You keep claiming ratchet stuff, ratchet shit gonna happen, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why can't we be in Freeport, man? We got all these universities, satellite universities, all this stuff around us where you can get education. Why can't we be known as Educated City? But we got to be known as Ratchet City. Now, let me give you some of the consequences and results that come along with Ratchet City. Do you know that per capita, Freeport does not rank in the top 175 largest cities in America? But per capita, we number 3 as far as syphilis, 2 as far as gonorrhea, and chlamydia. We lead the nation per capita in all pretty much STDs that you could think of. We lead the nation in high school dropouts. We lead the nation pretty much, we are up in the top 10 as far as our violent crimes. You know what I'm saying? Child molesting, pedophilia type things going on here, armed robberies, all this negative stuff. Guess what happens? That's what comes along with claiming Ratchet City. Keep claiming Ratchet City, ratchet shit gonna have to happen. It's a principle of the universe. For every action, there is a reaction. And you're putting a negative image out there that you embracing. Now, I posted something on my Facebook page earlier where we showed some statistics about the state of Louisiana. Where they was talking about in the original photo that I shared, because I took it from somebody else. They was talking about how California is up there as far as STDs. And then when you go to my page, look in the description section, you better go to my Facebook page or whatever and check out what we did. But you'll see we having a discussion on that right now on my Facebook page here locally. You know, everybody from your politicians, your preachers, your business owners, down to the brothers in the hood, your rappers, you know, your fashion designers. Everybody discuss local topics here on my page. I thank God for that. But when you look at that picture, they talking about California is up here in the top 5 in one category. Down here is in the top 10. Down over here is in the top 3. But guess what? Louisiana is in the top 3 for all those STDs that was shown in that picture. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. That's not including HIV. We have one of the highest rates in the world per capita. Louisiana does for its HIV. So as long as we keep claiming ratchet shit, Ratchet City, ratchet stuff gonna happen, man. I'm just keeping it real, dog. Come on, man. At what point do you realize that you have to take personal responsibility for your actions day to day? You cannot wait for your preacher, your governor, your mayor, your city council members, your parish commission members, well, it'd be county commissioners, any other states up Louisiana. But you can't wait for these people to pass laws and make legislation or put forth bills that's going to help you make the right decision. Come on, man. I know 50-year-old women and men around here sleeping with any and everything, getting diseases, cuz. But How can a 50-year-old person teach a 15-year-old person anything about responsibility when you yourself getting chlamydia? Man, this is what's really going on in Shreveport. This is what's going on in Louisiana. We have a promiscuous culture. Because first and foremost, let me go back and say this. We as black people in America, we're the only people on the planet that don't have a culture. We don't have an identity. When they bought us here as slaves, man, they took all that away from us. And the only culture and identity that we have is this materialistic, capitalistic, Zionistic culture that they're giving us. They're giving us a culture of death, sex, violence, destruction, mayhem, instability. They're breaking up our families through the culture. And you know how they're doing it? Through your rap music, through your video game, through your TV show. You got a lot of black women running around here literally thinking that real life is like Housewives of Atlanta or something you see on TV. Our kids are running around here, man, living life like it's one great big game of Grand Theft Auto. You know what I'm saying? Our men are running around here, even at 49, 50 years old, our men are running around here trying to live the life that these rappers singing about. I mean, it's crazy, man. You keep claiming Ratchet City, ratchet stuff gonna happen. And this is what's happening here in Louisiana, and in particular Shreveport, home of Ratchet City, the original Ratchet City. Y'all excuse me, I smoke cigarettes, but anyway. What we want to talk about though with Louisiana, man, is that we got to do better here in Louisiana, man. We lead the nation as far as incarceration. At one point, Louisiana, just up until last year when John Bel Edwards, our governor, John Bel Edwards, signed that prison reform, we led the world per capita. It's barely 5 million people in Louisiana. But per capita, we led the world. Not just the nation, the state, the city, or what. We led the world as far as people being incarcerated in Louisiana. But you keep claiming Ratchet City. Keep claiming Ratchet City. Your kid gonna keep dying. Your kid gonna keep getting these disease. You and your kid gonna keep getting these disease. You know what I'm saying? They gonna keep going. We gonna keep going to jail. Ain't nothing positive gonna happen for us as long as we embrace Ratchet City, man. And as long as we, the people of Louisiana, continue with this closed mind frame. I've never seen a group of people, man. I've been all over the world, but I've never seen people like the people in my home state. I ain't never seen a group of closed-minded people who won't even ask questions. And when people ask questions, they label them as troublemakers. That's why we lead the nation in STDs, because don't nobody want to talk here in Louisiana about real issues. Everybody want to pray it away. You know, everybody want to sit down and pray our way out of this. But guess what? We've been praying for thousands of years, and really, if you look at it, it's only getting worse. Now, let me switch to another subject, man, that you all might know a little bit about, you might not know nothing about, but I'm finna hip you to it. And that's the situation in Yemen. Now, the other day we put out a video about Venezuela. It was just an impromptu video because I was at a job site doing a little work, and I didn't really have time to go into detail. So we're gonna talk, definitely do a video today about Venezuela and what's really going on. But let me talk about Yemen, what's going on. Do you know that using your tax dollars, your government, the United States government, is sponsoring a proxy war using Saudi Arabia against the people of Yemen? They have already murdered, at last count, millions of people. In just the last 4 years, you've had hundreds of thousands of people to be injured, maimed, or crippled. You'd had tens of thousands to literally be murdered. But right now, you're facing a situation with cholera, starvation. You are literally facing the worst human tragedy in human history, man. What you're seeing, man, is one of the greatest genocides, war crimes, and just say mass murder campaigns in the history of mankind. Man, don't you know the United States is, think about this. Last year, first thing Donald Trump did when he got in office was gave Saudi Arabia $700 billion worth of weapons. Where did those weapons go? To Yemen. Now, in the last 4 years, the proxy war has been on. It started under Obama. Now, you black folk don't want to hear that, but the truth is, Obama was just as crooked. Actually, Obama was one of the greatest war crimes and murderers, mass murderers in history. They don't want you to know that in the mainstream media, but we tell you they real new behind you. We gonna tell you. Obama was nothing but the black face on the same old military-industrial complex agenda. They put him out there so he could be passive. He could pacify the masses because he's a smooth-talking black dude. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody expect him to be a war criminal, but this man that killed more people than George Bush and Bill Clinton put together. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I'm gonna have to shut this down because I'm over here, man, at my brother's house. Hold on, y'all. Give me just 1 second. Whoa, what's going on there, folks? Slow motion, slow motion. Doing a little video for YouTube. But let me go back. All right. Now, what you have in Yemen is one of the greatest humanitarian tragedies in the history of mankind, because you got 20 million people who are literally being starved to death by the United States government, man. Yeah, they got blockades over there. They're using Saudi Arabia to put militant groups in there, or they're using what you call them, I guess you could say mercenaries. They're paying mercenaries. They're paying Saudi Arabia. They're giving Saudi Arabia all these weapons, and them folks that went over there and destroyed these folks' country. They killed almost at least at a minimum 10,000 people have been murdered. Well over 400,000 people have been maimed and injured. And now you have a situation where 20 million people are literally being starved to death or falling victims to a weaponized form of cholera that our government here in the United States is using Saudi Arabia to perpetrate against the people of Yemen. Now we're going to do a little bit more in-depth study, detail on a lot of these subjects. Again, we just trying to get our channel up, man. We just trying to put enough views out there to give you all an idea of what we're about, man. We talk about everything. We don't just talk about things here locally. We actually get out here and engage. Thanks to the Creator, we was actually able to help influence pretty much the last 3 elections here in the city of Shreveport over the last 6 years. We actually fight for issues, man. As grassroots activists, we were able to actually shut down a landfill in my neighborhood. Man, we ain't about, we don't just talk about it here locally. We be about it. We actually out here engage in the system. We talk about state issues here in Louisiana. Again, we don't have counties, we have parishes. But on the parish by parish level, and the state level, we keep you informed on legislation that's being passed that affects your life, such as, again, that criminal reform bill that John Bell Edwards sponsored, which freed a lot of people who have been unjustly locked up. What's up, sister-in-law? Yeah, I was out here. I'm doing this video right quick. And also, we do national issues. We tell you stuff that mainstream media won't tell you. The truth is, Donald Trump does not control his government. He does not even control his own foreign policy. John Bolton, John Abrams, Elliot Abrams, Mike Pompeo. That's who really controls your foreign policy. And that's who's really trying to get that war pushed in Venezuela and continue to keep the troops in Syria, even after Donald Trump. Now, think about it, if Trump controlled the government, why is Pompeo and Bolton them saying that, no, we're not going to pull them troops out of Syria like Trump just said? Trump was full of that drink, or he was lying or high or something, but now them troops staying in Syria. So Trump does not own his government. Here at the Real News Behind News, we talk about geopolitics, you know what I'm saying? Again, the wars in Syria, the wars in Yemen, Venezuela, Afghanistan. We try to... Yeah, I ain't not too long ago. I just walked up. That's my brother right there. Yeah, I'm just doing a little video. I got them clothes in that drive, man. I'm just doing a little video. But yeah, Trump does not control it, because again, if he did, once he said we pulling the troops out of Syria, they should have been home. No. He does not control your government. The military-industrial complex, the pharmaceutical complex, the big energy complex. These are the ones who control your government, man. And everybody else that you see as a figurehead, or nothing more than a figurehead puppet for these entities, man. They make decisions. The corporations are the ones who run the country, and they make the decisions that your politicians pass legislations to enforce our lives. One more big thing I want to talk about: black people. You wondering why we going through the things we going through in our neighborhoods? Why our neighborhoods seem to be hellholes or walled off prisons because we living in the ghettos? You have to understand what's going on with the Palestinians. You have to understand Zionism. You have to understand the Israeli government. Not so much as the Israeli people, but the Israeli government, how they control your government. And the same thing that you see going on in your neighborhood is the same thing that they're doing to the Palestinians. So we're going to talk about a lot of that over the next few hours. Hopefully we're going to try to flood this internet, flood YouTube with so many videos that we can get those 1,000 people, 1,000 subscribers. Hey, if you like this video here, man, hit the thumbs up. If you don't like it, I know you're going to hit thumbs down. But if nothing else, my job is not to convince you to think the way that I want you to think. My job is to basically put ideas out there that's counter to what you're being told. Because you're being programmed by mainstream media, which is controlled by your government. You're being programmed to listen to the propaganda that they put out to you about war, about these vaccinations that's killing our kids, that's causing autism, about these medications the pharmaceutical industry are putting on our people that's actually causing more harm than it is doing good. And what we try to do here at The Real News Behind the News is not to get you to think the way we want you to think, but at least question what you're being told to think. So hey, y'all hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the notification button. If you like these videos, man, give us some support. Right now, we're not able to monetize these videos, so we got a Patreon thing going on because we would like to get better cameras. Right now, if y'all seen how broke my cell phone screen is that I'm doing this video on right now, y'all feel sorry. Y'all be like, Lord Jesus, please bless him with another phone. So you can hit the Patreon, and on the Patreon again, we're gonna be doing a little more in-depth day-to-day life. My son and I'll be showing y'all some of the recipes I be cooking, some of the behind-the-scenes preparations that he and I do as far as father and son. Me trying to raise him as a single father, which is kind of crazy. Here I am, damn near 50 years old, and got an 8-year-old son, and it's just me and him. But he's my world. He's my motivation. And just follow us, man. Support us, whether you like it, the content or not. Leave your comments, man, so we can make better videos. We can actually critique ourselves just by y'all comments. So once again, this your boy Rob Thomas Jr. from The Real News Behind the News. Saying to y'all, hear me on another one of them radio shows or see me on another video. Y'all be blessed.